the new show. You were very courageous, very brave to release an album in the middle of a pandemic. How was it for you?
It was not an easy decision, but I guess the option was to not release it and wait until everything was over. But of course, we didn't know when that was going to be. And also, we felt like if everything is on hold, what are we going to do? And also, I was looking forward to so many album releases. And when I heard that some of them got canceled, I got very upset because I figured I'm going to be home. I might as well have great music. And so that's part of the reason why we decided to release it, even though we couldn't tour or we couldn't do anything around it more than, press and that kind of stuff. So it was, it felt necessary, but of course frustrating knowing that, okay, we just released it into basically a void. It was hard to get that reaction that you normally get from a tour that immediately follows a release. And, but other than that, it felt good to have it out there. And I've talked to a lot of people who felt that that was part of like getting through the pandemic. You have a new album by a band that you like. Awesome. That really does help. And it did help me. A lot of amazing albums and records were released, and that was part of it, and I think my record collection grew quite a bit during the pandemic because I had nothing else to do,
Yeah. That's the point. Everybody was at home and paid more attention to music for what's going on the social media, etc. But in 2022, you toured with Morphis and Variety, and now you are doing an extensive festival season. How is going on these festivals that Dark Tranquillity are playing?
It's been great. We've done some here in Sweden, a lot in Germany, some Italian shows. 2 weeks ago it was Wacken, which was crazy and muddy and super cool. So it's been great. It's always mildly stressful and crazy because you're traveling every weekend basically to a new country and to a new festival. But it's hard to be upset about that when you see the audience and when you get to a festival and you get to hang out with a lot of friends you haven't seen in forever. So I absolutely love it. It's been an absolute treat this summer, and some incredible shows that I've adored performing. So it's cool. And we played some new ones as well. Because we haven't been. That's always exciting.
Don't worry, but this weekend we'll have 30 degrees at Pindelo, so no rain. You have the experience at Wacken, like you mentioned, and also by the Z Live in Samara was also quite unique. I was all these two experiences that were bad ones. Wacken, no, because I played the show and it went well. But how was this experience with the weather in the middle of summer?
It wasn't as bad as we didn't experience more than obviously. It rained for 2+ weeks or something like that before Wacken opened their doors, and I think that was the problem. We had one of those. We played in Pilsen in Czech Republic, and it had been raining for a couple of days, and it started raining once we were on stage, and it was kind of like a deluge, but it was kind of cool. It added to the experience, and I don't think it wasn't as bad. It didn't destroy anything for anyone. But so for us, it's been good. It's been mightily hot some days, of course, but we've been lucky, I think. Definitely. What was it? Metal Camp that got flooded and they had to cancel one day of that festival. So we've been aware of all this, but also aware how lucky we have been, in terms of the places we have played have been prepared, so to speak.
Chris Hammett left the band. Now you have Joey as a replacement. Well, what happened with this change in the guitar?
It was Chris, I think, for a longer time had been looking forward to doing something else. I think we are, very, set in our ways when it comes to writing our music and to perform. And he wanted to kind of take a bigger role, and we would happily have that happen. But I think he wanted to play different kind of music. This was he needed something else, and it kind of became apparent for a while. And we said like, hey, let's change it up. But eventually, he came to a point where he was felt like he wanted to that kind of fully dedicate his time to something new. I don't really know what that is yet, but I'm really curious to find out, because he is amazing and he's such a great player and fucking incredible guitar player and an awesome guy. So I wish him nothing but the best. And we miss him, but we realize that if you're not 100% into it, of course you shouldn't do it, and we came to that point, I think. And but it was really cool that, he said like, oh, if I ever don't feel up for it, then we have Joey, because basically Joey was Chris's student for a while, but after a while Chris said like, I cannot teach you anything else, everything already, or you can play everything better than I can. And so he said like, well, just go for Joey whenever, when he was away on paternal leave, Joey stepped in, and now Joey steps in again, and he's incredible. Like he's such a skilled, incredible guitar player that it's almost scary sometimes. And so it's going to be great. He played a couple of shows with us this summer already, so it's going to be great to have him back.
It will be a full replacement or just a guest? For
the time being, he's jumping in to help us out. We'll see what happens further down. As soon as we've kind of finished these festivals, the next week, we go full into writing mode for the next album, and then we're gonna make some arrangements and some changes and see what we can come up with. But so that's the plan. But now it's just live shows.
What do you expect from the audience in Milagro Metaleiro? Last time you played here was 5 years ago in August.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, we always talk about it. Our road crew, all of them are Portuguese, and most of them from Lisbon. And so we said like, why don't we ever play Portugal? It's insane. So yeah, but I remember like some of the festivals we played over the years have been incredible, super fun, incredibly passionate crowd. I think the last show was down by the harbor. I can't remember the venue, but I love that.
Festival. Last show was a festival, yeah. Lauros,
yeah.
1990.
Oh yeah, that's
2018, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that, and then the show before that, I remember really well.
Was in Lisbon. Okay.
Yeah, and that was fantastic. Like that's one of the highlights of that tour, from what I recall. And so yeah, let's do it again. And I cannot wait. It's going to be great. Get away from some of the rainy cold here in Gothenburg, Sweden.
Yeah, it's quite hot. Quite hot, really. First time I saw Dark Tranquillity was in 1996 in a very small place it was called Brasileiro near Porto.
Okay.
First time I saw you there. I've seen you in Portugal several times, in Spain and Germany, whatsoever. What keeps you going on after all these years? And first time I saw you was at a small club, very small place, very strange one, and now you play festivals. How is it for you all these years with Dark Tranquillity?
I mean, of course, 96, I couldn't even imagine that we were to play kind of festivals of the size that we're doing, or touring as extensively, and also like going on past 30 or going past 40, was unimaginable at the time. But it has been great. I get the question sometimes, what's the driving force? What is it that keeps you guys going? And honestly, I mean, there are a lot of things, but I think mostly it's the shows, being on stage, communicating with an audience, getting the reaction from a crowd, being able to perform the stuff that you have written and kind of suffered over and mulled over for months and months, to kind of get that out of your system, amongst people who get it, who understand. It's one of the best feelings in the world, and it kind of makes up for all the other things you really need to do in order to play everywhere around the world, basically. All the long days of traveling, all the endless waits in hours, and all the luggage and gear and weird stuff like that you just have to do. You can bitch and moan about it sometimes, when you have to travel for 30, 40 hours or something like that just to get to one show. But then you do that one show and it's awesome and it's fantastic. It makes you forget everything else for a while, and also the thing that led up to it. And then it's all worth it. So I think that's more than anything, that's the kind of driving force. And of course, hanging out with my friends in the band, meeting everybody, meeting the crowd, meeting other bands, all that stuff like that goes around it is fantastic too. So yeah, there's a lot of things, but there's always that kind of struggle to kind of be better. Next album, we're going to have some, better songs that we've ever done. The next tour is going to be cooler and better and, better set list, all that stuff. So constantly trying to improve, and we're not really there yet, but we're trying, So that's part of it too. But in some way, it's just like it has become such a vital part of our lives that it's hard to even imagine life without it. And so that makes it easy to just get going, and not never stop.
Regarding your show this weekend, you'll be more focused on moments. It'll be like a moment promotion gig, or a best of your career.
It's a little bit of both. I mean, yeah, we do some moment tracks, but in the last couple of years, we decided to pick out some songs that we haven't played in a long time. Kind of forgotten gems, songs that I loved playing when we played them in 2002 or 2005 or something like that, but for some reason have kind of dropped off of the set list. So we're bringing some of those songs back. So it's going to be kind of a very diverse set, I think. We're going to play for a while. So yeah, there's going to be some surprises, some obvious choices, of course, that songs that we're not allowed to not play, and but also so some kind of old cool songs that I love playing too.
Working with a lot of Portuguese, like you do with your crew, do they show you Portuguese bands, metal bands, besides Muspel, of course, that you know very well? Yeah,
well, not enough actually. I think all the people they work with, of course, I know, and but I wish they would expose me to more than I already know. It would be nice. But of course, we get to know a lot of amazing people, like the new people that we work with. We bring someone new, like for just this year, actually. That's been amazing, and it's cool to have a working relationship with people in Lisbon for more than 15 years now or something like that. Amazing.
Afterwards, you'll go to Latin America for festivals and some shows. As you told, you're planning to start composing the new album. Do you have any ideas? What can we expect? Can you give us something?
I've been writing most of it today. I mean, this is going to be an interesting album. Most of it is written by Johan and Martin, but we also brought in, or we took inspiration and also like some latent work from Niklas Sundin, who's been kind of writing a lot as well. And we have some stuff that Fredrik wrote, our old guitar player who passed away 2.5 years ago. So kind of using all these kind of different elements in order to kind of create something new this time around that we want to be different, yet kind of reminiscent of what we've been doing all these years. And we're kind of getting there. We're working every available day we have in between festivals and other work. We try to kind of go to the studio and work through material and to kind of fine tune it and make it right. And I think, I mean, we have 14 songs or something like that now that are nearing completion, and it's starting to sound incredible. It's really emotional. It's really powerful. And also having like Joachim playing drums is insane. Christian on bass already sounds great. And I mean, it's going to be one hell of an album. I'm the only worry I have is that I'm not going to be able to do the music justice, you know. And that's where I am right now, questioning myself every day, trying to write lyrics and write vocal lines and stuff like that for it. But it's going to be okay. And we're going to be writing and recording all of this year, and then for the album to come out after the summer next year.
Soon you release another project you have, Grand Cadaver. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's coming out on Friday, so it's super exciting. It's cool. I mean, it's a band that we started in the pandemic, and we already have 1 EP and 2 full-length albums out. It's insane. It's a crazy kind of work ethic that Alex has, and then he says, "Oh, I have a new album written already. Write some words." So I've been writing on airplanes, in airport lounges and hotel rooms, and whenever I had a moment over, and then we recorded everything in like 6 days or something like that. And it feels awesome. Like, it's so straightforward. It's so kind of it comes from such a place of fandom, you know, the music that we grew up with, that we loved. It's kind of ingrained in our system. So when we start writing it's the most spontaneous thing in the world. Like, we never have to change anything. We don't have to go back and redo something. It's just like, yep, this is it. Everybody gets it, you know, and that's a really cool feeling, where and a totally different experience from anything else I've ever done, where you can just go and kind of like trust your instincts, and it works. So I'm reading reviews all day. It's like, oh, people are digging a new album. It feels great, and have it come out on Friday is going to be gorgeous. Like, and the vinyl sounds great, looks awesome. Like, super happy.
So you're very proud of this, like I said.
Definitely.
We'll see each other next Saturday. What final message do you want to give to the crowd that are expecting to see you live in Mikael Stanne?
You know, apologies for our absence for this last 5 years, but hopefully we can make up for it on Saturday, because I have a good feeling about this. It's going to be great. The band is in great shape. We've had some good warm-up festivals before this last one in Europe, so to speak. So this is going to be just amazing, and we cannot wait to see you guys. No!